Alright guys, this is a follow-up video for ALLFiring. I was thinking about what to actually do. I realized after playing for some time, this game doesn't really need a guide. All the characters pretty much play the same, and none of them seem to be too complex to the point where you don't really know how to play them. Just a little side tangent. There's a cool little small detail that I missed last time when I was playing. During the party setup screen, whenever you drag your characters to move them around, they have like these really cool and cute little reactions when you pick them up. It's a pretty cool detail. It's actually nice to see that there's actually some form of love put into the game. I did see your comment, dude. I don't think the game's a cash grab. You are right about certain things about the game, but I think there's too much love put into the game for it to be a cash grab. I think they're actually trying to make the game as good as possible, even with all the problems that it's currently facing. Yeah, it's a pretty small detail, but it's also pretty cool and cute at the same time. So yeah, I just wanted to show that off. Either way though, we're gonna be doing a sort of a guide. We're gonna be going through each of the characters, all the characters that I currently have. Some of them are not built, so we're just gonna be talking about the base character. We're not gonna be talking about the extra skills because most of them are just extra damage anyway. So we're gonna be talking about the base characters, what they do, and how to actually play them. So without any more talking, let's just jump right into it. Alright, first up on the list is the Firekeeper. She is your protagonist, your traveler, or rover, if you will, of the game. Here is her basic attack combo. Here is her heavy strike without energy. And here's her heavy strike with energy. As you can see down below, we have two icons right above her energy gauge. First icon is called Chill Stacks. You get that by unlocking her first passive. And the second one is her default passive called Frost Stacks. She can accumulate this on her own every 12 seconds or by hitting enemies and accumulating, I believe, 8 Chill Stacks. So right now I have 7. If I hit the enemy one more time, I gain an extra one, so now I have 2 because 12 seconds just passed. To use or spend a Frost Stack, you must use her follow-up attack, which is holding down the basic attack button. As you can see above, there's an icon underneath the enemy's health gauge. That is a debuff. This debuff basically reduces the enemy's movement speed and also increases the amount of damage they receive from the Firekeeper. So basically the way you want to play her is get frost marks either by accumulating chill stacks or waiting every 12 seconds. Get frost marks, apply frost marks to enemies, then follow up with a high damaging attack. So to reiterate, get frost marks, use frost marks, high damaging attack. Get frost marks, use frost marks, high damaging attack. And that's pretty much how you want to play her. She also provides a passive buff to characters that are swapped in via chain follow-up. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, that thing. So basically, whenever they're swapping that way, they gain a buff. I believe it's a elemental damage buff, and also she provides heavy attack damage buff to characters of the same element or elements that are linked to ice elements. I believe that is wind and darkness. So that's why I have two characters with that element. So just to show it off again, swapped her in. As you can see, there's like little purple arrows floating up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's an elemental damage boost, and you can see the icon down below as well. And yeah, that's pretty much how you want to play her. All characters have a plunging attack, by the way. It's not very useful. It doesn't really do a lot of damage, but yeah, all characters have this universal move. It's not really that special. And yeah, I'm pretty sure that's about it. Also, there's a visual representation when she has a frost mark. As you can see, there's snow around her. So if you're not paying attention to the icons, you can always just tell by the snow around her. So that's it for Firekeeper. Let's move on to the next. Alright, next up is Ilscha. She is a range character. This is her basic attack combo. Since it also fits with her playstyle, this is her follow-up attack, performed by holding down the basic attack button. This is her heavy strike without energy. This is her heavy strike with energy. You might not have noticed, but yeah, her skill also applies a debuff constantly. As you can see, every time the skill ticks, the enemy receives a debuff. This debuff basically means that the enemy takes more damage from said character. Whenever an enemy is affected by her heavy strike, she gains a follow-up or coordinated attack. That's pretty much it. She does have a plunging attack or jump attack, as all characters have. Just want to show it off there. That's pretty much it, how you want to play her. She doesn't have too many things going on in her kit. Basically, hit enemies with her heavy strike, follow-up attack, hit enemies with her heavy strike, follow-up attack, hit enemies with her heavy strike, follow-up attack, ult, maybe. Oh my god, what is that? She does have another passive which you unlock via her talents, which increases her damage by 20% whenever she is swapped on the field. So, right there, as you can see, I have a damage boost. Doesn't last for very long. I think it's like 5 or 3 seconds. But yeah, that's pretty much everything there is to know about this character. If I missed anything, however, feel free to let me know in the comments down below. But yeah, that's about it for Ilscha. Let's move on to the next character. Alright, next up is Rozeul, I believe she's called. She is a melee character. This is her basic attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. This is her heavy strike with energy. As you might have noticed, there was an icon above her head after finishing her basic attack combo. I'll do it again. That icon is a buff, which not only increases her attack temporarily, but also changes the way her heavy striker behaves. To use or spend the buff, you have to hit an enemy with her heavy strike during a combo. So whether that be basic attack into heavy strike or basic attack into heavy strike, it doesn't really matter. So for example, heavy strike, basic attack. See, that spends it. And what that does is apply a coordinated attack effect to the enemy. So I'm gonna do it again because it probably ran out. And I have it. Spend it, and whenever I follow up an attack, as you can see, the enemy takes additional damage. To maximize her damage, here's a basic rundown of how you want to play her. So first of all, build meter, get the mark, apply the mark, and then follow up with her skill. So she's dealing double DOT damage. To reiterate, get mark, build bar, apply DOT, and then finish off with her enhanced heavy strike. If you want a bit more damage, gain mark, use mark, and then follow up with her ult. She also has another passive which buffs the damage of characters with the same element as her, as well as the elements that are linked to her. If you don't know what that means, it basically means that whenever you're in the party select screen and you see that little icon on the top left corner of the screen, it basically means that whatever elements that are linked together, all of them receive the same buff, if that makes sense. And she also buffs heavy strike damage on top of that. That's pretty much it. That's her plunging attack. Nothing special. Moving on to the next character. Alright, next up is Jallest. She is a melee character. This is her melee attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. This is her heavy strike with energy. When she has more than one bar, her heavy strike can be used consecutively, and gives her a small attack boost which can stack up to 3 times. As you can see, there is an icon above her head as well. Whenever she hits an enemy with her basic attack combo, it does additional damage. Up to 3 times until the icon disappears. At max stacks, or after using her heavy strike 3 times in a row, her heavy strike also gains a damage boost. Incorporating a heavy strike into her combo gives her this little fadeaway move. It's not really that safe, but it is good for building her energy really quickly. but you can still get knocked out of it, just be aware. I don't believe she gives a passive via quad pursuit, so yeah, that's pretty much it for Jallest. Let's move on to the next character. Alright, next up is Yousel. Hopefully I'm saying that right. She is a melee character. This is her basic attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. This is her heavy strike with energy. With enough energy, her heavy strike can be used consecutively until her energy is fully depleted. Every item she throws increases her attack by a set amount and can be stacked up to 10 times. As you can see down below, I have 10 stacks. She has a passive that buffs the attack and crit damage of companions with the same element as her, as well as its linked elements. So I believe the linked element for ice is wind and dark, so they also receive that buff as well. For example, I'm going to show. As you can see, I have a crit damage and an attack buff. Her heavy strike can be incorporated into her basic attack combo, which gives her this little spin attack. Good for charging her energy, and also is pretty decent AoE as well, so it can be used to hit multiple enemies at once. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much how you want to play this character. Build bar, use her skill, gain maximum amount of stacks, increase her damage, and then follow up with high damage and attacks. And yeah, that's pretty much how you want to play her. This is her plunging attack, nothing special. Let's move on. I don't know how to pronounce it. Is it Sion or Sion? But she is a range character. This is her basic attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. And this is her heavy strike with energy. With enough energy, her heavy strike can be used consecutively until her energy is fully depleted. Every arrow that hits an enemy during her heavy strike applies a mark, which explodes shortly after the skill ends, as seen there. She has a passive which buffs the elemental damage of characters with the same element as her, as well as its linked element. As you can see there, I received a damage boost. Her heavy strike can be incorporated into her basic attack combo, which basically gives her this little backdash shot, I guess you can say, which also applies a status effect to the enemy called Bind. I believe it reduces the enemy's movement speed for a set amount of time. And yeah, that's pretty much how you wanna. That's pretty much how she plays. Nothing really else to show. Maybe her ult. Doesn't really do much, just a single shot. I think it hits multiple enemies as well. Moving on to the next character now. Next up is Herfwin. She is a range melee hybrid character. She's also a support and a healer. This is her basic attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. And this is her heavy strike with energy. Every time her heavy strike hits an enemy, she restores a certain amount of HP to her and her companions, as seen there. It also applies a mark to the enemy, which can be detonated by hitting the enemy, again with an enhanced version of her heavy strike, dealing extra damage. She has a passive which buffs the attack of companions with the same element as her, as well as its linked element. I believe the linked element of darkness is ice and lightning. So for example, I switch into an ice character, and now I have a damage boost as seen down below. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's it for her. That's her plunging attack. Nothing too crazy. She also has a follow-up attack. By holding down the basic attack button, she gains this little spin. It's really good for building energy really quickly. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Herfwin. Let's move on to the next character. Alright, next up is Nafia. She is a ranged character. This is her basic attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. And this is her heavy strike with energy. At full energy, the skill can be charged. dealing way more damage, hitting multiple times, and also applying a DOT effect. Hitting the enemy with a full basic attack combo also applies the effect. This can be stacked up to 6 times, so every time you finish a basic attack combo on an enemy, it increases the damage and also refreshes the effect. As you can see, 330. Now we're at 4. Now we're at 5. Now we're at 6. I believe that's a max stack. Also, when using her enhanced heavy strike, the charge version, if the skill manages to crit, it applies 2 stacks of DOT damage instead of 1. So I think it only did 1 because I don't think it crit. Yeah, make sure you have her crit rate up to increase her maximum damage. And that's pretty much it. I believe also when you hit maximum stacks, it triggers a passive called Overload, which also applies another DOT effect on the enemy as well. I don't think I can show it because the duck keeps doing things and I can't show it. Her heavy strike can be incorporated into her combo, which results in this AoE lightning field move. Pretty good for charging her energy and also hitting multiple enemies around her. Here's her ult. If you haven't already seen it, does a lot of damage and also knocks down enemies. So you can follow up with a heavy strike afterwards for extra damage. And yeah, that's about it for Nafia. Her plunging strike is pretty cool actually. And yeah, let's move on to the next character. Alright, next up is Kirika. She just released. This is her basic attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. And this is her heavy strike with energy. When she has more than 1 bar of energy, her heavy strike can be used consecutively 3 times in a row. Her basic attack combo grants her a buff. As you can see, I have an icon above my head. This pretty much enhances her heavy strike, so when the next time I hit an enemy, it deals more damage. And also applies a DOT effect. This can stack up to 3 times and deals damage every 2 seconds for 12 seconds. She also buffs the fire damage and ultimate damage of companions with the same element as her, or if their elements are linked. I believe the linked element for fire is lightning and wind, so I have Nafia for example here. She's not of the fire element, so she only receives 1 of the damage boost, which is the ultimate buff. Her heavy strike can be incorporated into her basic attack combo. For example, pressing the heavy strike during her combo gives her this little up swipe, which also knocks enemies up in the air. And you can also hold the heavy strike during her combo, and she performs this little, this extra double swipe. Deals a lot of meter as well, and also deals pretty good damage. Just keeping her stacks up at all times is what you want to do. Incorporating heavy strikes into her combos helps a lot as well because she is pretty slow. Build stacks, build bar, apply stacks, hit enemies up in the air, apply stacks, and yeah, that's pretty much how you want to play her. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Kirika. Move on to the next character. Alright, next up is Nafia. She is a melee character. This is her basic attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. And this is her heavy strike with energy. With enough energy, this skill can also be charged, dealing way more damage. I also have her max constellation or max engraven, whatever you want to call it. I have her max dupe, so that's probably why the skill looked different. It will look different for you probably, so yeah, it won't look like that. As you can see above, underneath the enemy's health bar, there is an icon. This is triggered every time Nafia hits the enemy, so I hit the enemy again. Now I have 2 stacks. The maximum amount of stacks is 10, and when you hit max stack, a automatic follow-up attack is triggered. It's pretty quick, but the owl, her companion, performs a follow-up attack. I believe her skill also triggers a debuff, as seen here. Not too sure what they do just yet, but I'll probably just include it in the video later on in text. She does have a follow-up attack. It can be performed after hitting an enemy with a basic attack, and then hold in the button right after that. So hit enemy and hold the button right after. This builds up stacks for that follow-up attack really quickly, so you might want to spam this a lot when using her. Yeah, it builds up stacks really freaking quickly, as you can see. So yeah, you might want to just spam this a lot so you can get that extra damage. And yeah, that's pretty much it for her. That's pretty much it for her. Nothing else going on in her kit. This is her ultimate. She has a motivation going on, but yeah, that's pretty much it for Nafia. Let's move on to the next character. Alright, next up is Garcia. She is a range character and also a support healer. This is her basic attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. And this is her heavy strike with energy. With enough energy, she also provides a small amount of heals to her companions. Can't really show it off right now, but if my companions were damaged, they would receive heals there. Her follow-up attack is a buff. I believe she also gains the buff every time she is swapped in via pull-up pursuit, so she also gains the buff every time you swap her in from another character, which is spent or used whenever she performs the third attack of her basic attack or her fully charged heavy attack. So basically when her bar is full, that also spends it. She buffs the attack damage of characters with the same element as her, as well as its linked element. So I believe the linked element for wind is ice and fire. So for example, I'm going to swap in Nafia. As you can see, there is an icon to demonstrate that I have a buff. This is her ult. It does damage and also provides heals. Provides heals for her companions for a set amount of time. As you can see, I'm receiving heals. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the character. If I leave out anything, I'll just probably put it in post-editing. But yeah, move on to the next character now. Alright, last but not least, we have Fischer. She is a melee character. This is her melee attack combo. This is her heavy strike without energy. And this is her heavy strike with energy. With enough energy, her heavy strike can be used consecutively until her energy is fully depleted. She gains an attack buff every time she's swapped on the field. This doesn't last very long. I think it lasts for 4 seconds, and it is a 12% attack boost. She provides a attack and crit rate boost of companions of the same element or of the element that is linked. So I believe the linked element for fire is wind and lightning. And yeah, that's pretty much it for her. She does have a follow-up attack, the slash move, which can be used twice. The second hit does cost 1 bar of energy, so keep in mind. Does decent damage and has a pretty wide AoE. This is her ult. Nothing special, just a AoE slash. I believe that does hit multiple enemies. Alright, I believe that's everybody. Alright, I believe that is everybody. Sorry if I felt a bit rushed. I don't think this game is difficult or even complicated enough for there to be a complex guide for every character. If this guide helps in any way, shape, or form, feel free to hit that like and subscribe button, and maybe I'll continue doing more content for this game. This game does have a couple issues, mostly bugs and progression walls. As of right now, I'm like adventure rank 60, and I don't have a single character built fully, so yeah, building your characters in this game is a bit of a pain. I feel like they need to like give you more ways to build your characters quickly, because as of right now, the progression wall is really high, and building your character is actually just a pain instead of fun. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the video. Hope you enjoy, and yeah, have a good one. Take it easy, and peace.